Hello, everyone. We are really excited that you are joining us for a video on what to expect and how to prepare for orientation. So, we are going to present some information for parents and students that would be helpful for you all to get ready for Bama Bound. My name is Dana Beckers, and I'm the Director of Parent and Family Programs. And I'm here with Lindsay Turner, who's the Associate Director of Orientation and Special Events. We are going to be able to show you all kinds of things that will help you in getting ready for orientation. So we're going to first of all talk about terms to know. And I'm gonna go over some terms that will be helpful for you all to get ready. And then Lindsay's going to talk about all of the different parts of student orientation, Bama Bound. Then I'm going to talk about the parts that are parent and family orientation related and how to register and topics that we will have covered. So let's start with some terms to know. So first of all is MyBama. This is a huge one. MyBama is located on the UA website, ua.edu, and it is the way that the students get to just about everything. And so the first thing would be the orientation registration system. So that's located in MyBama, and that is how a student registers for themselves and also any guests, which would be parent and family members, in that orientation registration system. We call it ORS. Also, Crimson email, that's where the student email, that's the name of the email, and that's also in MyBama. And then DegreeWorks is like a checklist of classes for students to be able to work towards that has their whole 4-year plan, and it's for them to follow throughout their 4 years. Then Crimson Connection is the parent and family e-newsletter that we have, and we'll talk about that in just a bit. But I'm going to turn it over to Lindsay, and she is going to talk about the specifics that have to do with student orientation.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much, Dana. My name is Lindsay Turner. I'm the Associate Director of Orientation Special Events here at the University of Alabama. Roll Tide. I'm here to talk about Bama Bound, which is what we call our student orientation program. So the first thing I want to start off with, if you still need to register to attend with your student or your student still needs to register, they need to log on to mybama.ua.edu. That's the website that Dana was just speaking about. When they log in, you will see on the left-hand side of the screen, there's an admissions and scholarship section. They will click on it. It will bring up the screen that you're now seeing. And for admitted freshmen, this is where they can submit their freshman enrollment deposit, their housing deposit, both of which need to be done before they are able to register for Bama Bound. Also, this is the same process that an admitted transfer student would take. There's other things on here where you can go and they can go into DegreeWorks, as Dana talked about, and look at potential pathways for their path they're going to take here, make sure they want to do that major. And as we're talking about that, this is also where they would do a major change. We encourage you to, or your student encourage you to encourage your student to change their major if they're going to prior to Bama Bound. This helps with ensuring they're going to the right college visit. They're being advised by the correct college advisors. There is always a chance in the morning of college visit day 1 to let us know that they would like to change their major as well, and we can do that on site. We just ask that you please tell us early on day 1 so that we can make sure that you are all attending the correct college visit. So what to know before you come to orientation? There's so many things we would like you to know before you come. We would like your student to have their MyBama login memorized or at least written down, put into their phone, because that is how they're going to go in. They're going to set up their mobile action card. As we spoke about a minute ago, they're going to register for classes through this when they go to College Visit 2. They're going to register for football tickets. I think those and the parking permits are released about mid-June. Also, you're going to hear Dana and I and many people on campus ask your student for their campus-wide identification number. We will probably call it a CWID. Feel free to stop us, ask what the acronyms we are saying are, and we will do that. But this is the number that we use to search for your student in all of our administrative portals. And this is where they can go in. We can help them change their major. And as I talked about with major changes, when they go to College Visit 1, there's different things they can review: career pathways, they can review the academic catalog, DegreeWorks, and they can sit down with you, speak to these advisors. They are great sources of information. This is what they do day in, day out, and they are doing their best to help your student find the most beneficial pathway for themselves. We encourage you to speak to your students after they leave College Visit One and make sure that they are registering for the classes that they're interested in and that they want to attend. If you're staying overnight on campus, as well as your student, you will not be in the same residence hall as your student. If you have registered a sibling, you will also not be in the same residence hall as them. We want to remind everybody that you will have an individualized room, but it will just be bare bones. You will need to bring toiletries, linens, pillows, towels, things of those effect. A sleeping bag would be beneficial if you're flying. There's not as much to pack that way. You're also welcome to go to Walmart, Target, other places in town and buy things if you need. A reminder that accommodations are only available for sessions in May, June, and July, not our 2 one-day only sessions in August. And all of this information, I know it's a lot being thrown at you right now, but emails will be sent out from our orientation office to your student 5 to 10 days prior to orientation, reminding them of all of these things as well. So what to do before orientation? Again, get familiar with MyBama. Sit down with your student. Have them show you how they navigate MyBama and what they're going to do and what their major is. And have them check their Crimson email account at least 1 week prior to Bama Bound. And every day getting closer to August, there's always emails updating them on things that's going on, sorority recruitment, first day of class, script A, things like that will all go to their Crimson email account. We ask that your student check their orientation portal. There is a new student checklist there. It's also available online at our orientation website. Again, we've already spoken about, your student will submit their action card photo through the action card website, and the reminder for them will also be on the orientation checklist. We've spoken about looking through the degree catalog and DegreeWorks. I cannot stress that enough, just so you have a very good idea of the pathway that your student needs to take for the 4 years here, and seeing the courses they're going to take and making sure this is something they really want to do. And as I said, we have no problem and encourage major changes just to make sure that they are going to accomplish what they want to their time here at the university with us. You can submit your students' immunization forms through their MyBama portal. They can also submit them through there. You can also drop them off at the Student Health Center. We highly encourage you to do this prior to your Bama Bound orientation dates, but it is mandatory that your student submit their immunization forms that are up to date prior to classes beginning in the fall, or a hold will be put on their account and they will not be able to register for classes in the spring until they submit those and we release that hold. We're now going to talk about math and foreign language assessments as we go through the slides. So this math placement exam, it's only required for test optional students. With that being said, there is an email that will come to your student. It will tell instructions on how to access this exam, and it will come about 3 weeks before their orientation session. They can take it up to 2 times, but it should be completed 1 week prior to your student's orientation session. And with that being said, you're able to see that there's only about a 14-day window there for them to take this math placement exam. You'll see at the bottom of the screen is the website where you can find out more information. It will bring you to this where you can see what they would need to make, things along those lines. And the foreign language placement exam is optional. It is not required. We do highly encourage students who have taken at least 2 high school units of French, German, Spanish, or Latin to take this exam. We have a new curriculum coming up in the fall called Built by Bama that will also have a focus on a foreign language requirement. You will see down here the link to go to learn more about the foreign language placement exam. And later on, we will also speak about the Built by Bama to you all, the new curriculum. In My Bama, this is another screen that your student will see when they log in. This is the student screen. So on the left, you see all of the links of things they can click on. There's an events calendar where they can see things that are going on at the university and specifically to their classes or their clubs and organizations. There's a directory where they can look up all of the faculty if they need to email faculty or staff members. This is where you can see your students' grades. You can upload official documents. As you'll see on the right hand of the screen, that is where you would upload the immunization forms we spoke about a few minutes ago. This Blackboard Learn yellow box in the middle, that is where all of their class information will be. Every single class will have information input into that, and they will log in and it will specifically take them to their classes because, again, this is going to be specific to their student information. What to bring. So we've already talked about things you need to bring to the residence halls, but in the email we talked about that you'll get 5 to 10 days out, you'll get directions to campus that are going to actually show you how to get to the Student Center parking deck. There's Ridgecrest South, which is a residence hall, and Ridgecrest West. That is where you'll be and where your students will be. We never know the weather and how unpredictable it's going to be, even though I would say with Dana, it's pretty predictable that it's going to rain for 15 or 20 minutes at some point in the afternoon. So please bring an umbrella or a raincoat, bring comfortable shoes. You're walking around campus to College Visit 1 with your student, just exploring on your own at times if you want. Please bring a laptop so you can review courses with your students and go into the degree works and things like that before their advising sessions. As we've said, it's very hot outside, but we keep it very cold indoors. So a light jacket, light layers, something to put on when you're inside as well. Please bring your photo identification, especially if you're registering a sibling. Also, please make sure that your student has their photo identification. If there's any special accommodations that your student needs, please let us know beforehand. It's never a bad idea to bring transcripts or something along those lines. And again, as I said, anything that you need for housing stays for you or your student or the sibling. So advising expectations. So we're going to encourage you and your student to really trust the advisors through this process. You may have in your mind a certain pathway that you want your student to take. Maybe you're an alumni and these are the classes you took and it worked out really great for you. As I've said, we have a new curriculum starting in the fall, which we'll talk about in a minute briefly. But we want you to make sure that you're going in with an open mind and trusting that these advisors speak every day with new and current students to help make recommendations for courses and to help guide them. Even though your student is the main person in the driver's seat when it comes to their academic plan, their registration for courses is what these advisors are there to do, and they're trying to do it in your student's best interest. So please trust that they're doing this with the best information and the best intention of helping your students. The course suggestion and mapping options will come through DegreeWorks and the Crimson email that your students have. The advising on College Visit 1 will have a little bit of one-on-one sessions and some group time. You will be able to attend with your student to College Visit 1 on day 1. On day 2 of College Visit 2, you will not be attending with your student, and this is when they will go meet with their advisor one-on-one and actually register for their classes. And there's so many different class delivery formats. We have online here, we have in person, we have 1 class a week, we have 3 classes a week, 2 classes a week, only night classes. And so I think they're all great options. It's going to very highly depend on your student, which is why we encourage you to speak to them. And again, please do not hesitate to change your major during Bama Bound. But as we've spoken about, if you go to College Visit 1 and decide that's not what you want your major to be, please let us know, but understand that you may have missed the advising for your specific college, and it may take a little longer on College Visit 2, on day 2, to get through that process. So this is what we've been speaking about, our new general education curriculum, and it's called Built by Bama. It is for first year experience classes, core curriculum classes, and pathways. So your students have 2 first year experience courses to take during the first year. They will select from Legends 101 class from more than 80 choices. There are so many choices. They're very unique. I highly recommend you look through these with your student. They are great. I think they're a great introduction for our students, and especially as admitted first year freshmen. The second course is determined by the major of their college. Their advisor will speak to them on this to be specific to their pathway within their college. The core curriculum has 10 or 12 foundational level classes such as history, literature, math, science, other topics. Pathways is also a highly recommended approach from the core curriculum class scheduling. You will hear more about this on day 1 of Bama Bound from some of our people who helped create this curriculum. If you want to know more about it, you can go to builtbybama.ua.edu and find out some more information, and that would be where you can start to look at the different 80 choices. So general expectations for students. We're going to encourage them to make good choices. This includes making sure they're attending everything, that they're attending all of the programming, making sure that they're there, that they're learning already how to take care of themselves, to eat when they're supposed to eat, to drink water, to stay hydrated during these hot days, everything along those lines. We do want you to know that they do have to stay for the entirety of the programming. That is the only way they will get registered for their classes. It will also start putting the right word I'm looking for, I guess, is authority information on them, because they will check themselves into Bama Bound on the right side of the Great Hall as you're checking yourself or any siblings in on the other side. The siblings will be along the glass, and the parents will be on the left side, and students will be on the right side. And this is their first day of college. We want them to walk around, meet people. There will be 400 other students there. And so it's a great time to meet people from all around the country, to make new friends, even before the start of the semester. We also want to encourage them to ask any and all questions. We want to encourage you to ask any and all questions. We know it can be very nerve-wracking to come into a space where you might not know anybody, or maybe you're coming in and attending orientation, your student is. Maybe they have a lot of friends and people during their session, and that's great, and we still encourage them to reach out and make new friends. Our staff will be there. Dana and I will be there. There's so many people from different campus departments that will be there to help students and make sure they're asking questions, and do not feel embarrassed to not know the answer. They're brand new here. They shouldn't know the answer. So just make sure that they ask anything and everything and challenge themselves to make connections. And again, talking about the advisors that they will go meet with, this will be a confidant that they have throughout their 4 years here, and they will get to know them very well. And also be ready to say Roll Tide. Dr. McClendon has a saying that before you leave Bama Bound, you need to have said it at least 5 times. I'm pretty sure you might have said it 5 times by the end of check-in. We're just all saying it all the time. It's so great, and we're so excited to have you at the university. Now it's a little bit about sibling orientation, as we spoke about. It's $25 per sibling. They can be registered through the My Bama portal where your student registers, and where your student registers you as well. It is for rising high school freshmen through rising high school seniors. You have to be present at the check-in to sign a waiver for your student, and it's very similar, as I just spoke about, to registering them through My Bama. It is a great time. Charlie Gordon on my staff is the person who runs this. You experience campus. They get to go see things such as the Bryant Museum. They get to see Denny Chimes. They get to see inside the basketball, Coleman Coliseum sometimes. They get to see inside the Joe, the baseball stadium. They get to see the Digital Media Center on days that the football team is not using the football stadium. They get to go and see demonstrations in the nursing department, in the engineering department. They get to come to the Randall Welcome Center. They get to meet with faculty and staff. It is just a great experience for these students, and it's separate from you as a parent and their sibling. They are doing their own path that day. And the next one, Dana. And Dana, that is up to you. Thank you so much for having me come talk about student orientation to your parents.
All right. One thing I wanted to add in is that siblings, if they are going to be attending, they will stay with the parents in that residence hall. So the students coming to the university stay in one building, and then the parents and siblings stay in another building.
Right. Thank you for clarifying that, Dana.
Yes. So now we're going to go to parent and family orientation. Let's get into it. So what do we do about what's parent orientation? So the orientation for parents and family members or guests is a supplement to what the student is experiencing. So there are times where the students are with the parents, and there's times where the parents are separate. We have parents and family have their own sessions that are specific to them. So we have 1-day sessions and 2-day sessions. So 2-day sessions are for freshmen, and then term 2 students. 1-day sessions are for transfer summer or fall start students, and summer term 1 start students. And I know it sounds a little bit confusing, but you should know who you are. But most of our sessions are 2-day sessions for first year freshmen, and they're usually fall starts. So when is parent orientation? It's at the same time as student orientation, and parents will go at the same day and time as their students. So a parent can't go to a different session that's in July if their student is going in June. So they're going to always go together. We will be sending information in May, and then also 7 days out with more details to every parent, family member, guest that has registered for orientation. So anyone's welcome to come to parent and family orientation. It's just that you still have to register. So anyone that is wanting to attend any of these sessions, they have to register. The 1-day sessions are held in the University of Alabama Student Center. The 2-day sessions are remember, this is the parent sessions. The first day is in University of Alabama Student Center, and then day 2 is in North Lawn Hall. So why attend? So we hear this, why should parents attend parent and family orientation? So we do a lot of presentations in the parent perspective so that we can help parents help their student. So parents are going to have access to campus partners in their presentations. We give all presentations throughout the Bama Bound timeframe parent orientation to those who register for parent orientation. If you don't come to parent orientation, you don't have access to these presentations. A chance to visit your student's academic college. So that's College Visit 1. Parents and families go with the student to that. And then you get to talk to current students, some of our orientation leaders, and finding out what's like as a student here at Alabama and what they are experiencing with them. And then we are going to connect parents with each other. So that's something too. You get to meet a whole lot of parents as well. So how do you register for parent and family orientations? Well, your student actually registers you. So one option is that your student registered the guest when they registered themselves for Bama Bound. But let's just say you didn't get registered. So a student will need to go back into My Bama, and they will go in and register that parent, family member, guest in My Bama under the admissions and scholarships area, and then under orientation registration. So it's pretty simple and to do it, but a lot of times students will register themselves and they will not register their parent. So we want to make sure that we get parents registered ahead of time. Students cannot register on site. Parents can register on site, but we really would rather you register ahead of time so we can prepare materials for you, like a name tag and that type of thing. And we know that you're actually coming. But make sure you realize that all registration fees, student, parent, guest, whomever, all are non-refundable. So once that fee is paid, it's non-refundable. So how much does it cost? It's $80 per member to attend. So if a student has 2 family members attend, that is $160. So what do we use that money for? Well, we use that money for a lot of things. We run parent orientation. So we have to rent the space. We pay for our student staff, their uniforms, and we pay them a stipend during the summer. orientation materials. You'll get some meals, and then a portion of your fee goes to the parent and family newsletter platform that we use to communicate with parents all 4 years that your student is here. So again, parent and family orientation fees are non-refundable, on-site registration if necessary, but we would rather you do it at least 3 days in advance. So what do you do in a 2-day session? So these are those first year freshman fall start students. So day one, we're going to do a whole bunch of presentations where you're going to learn about financial aid, how to pay for your student's bill, some things about housing and residential. What do the students need to bring when they come to move on campus? What is it like to be involved on campus? So lots of really great presentations that give you more an in-depth than what you got at your campus tour. Campus tour is very different than orientation. Orientation gives you the nuts and bolts of being a parent and then also helps your student. Then on day two, we will move to a different building, and then there's some other types of presentations. Like we have a panel, health and wellness panel. We even have someone from campus safety come and talk about making really great choices. And then let me back up from day one. We do have a social for all parents at Central Mesa Restaurant, and we will be telling you more about that. It's really a great time. We started it last year, and parents really do take advantage of just being with other parents and getting to know other parents from all across the country. 1-day sessions, we're going to start at 8 o'clock and it ends at 5. So a lot of the same type of presentations, we just condense it into 1 day. And then the parents still go to that college visit 1. So what else do you need to know? We really, really, really want you to sign up for UA Crimson Connection. Currently, you're getting a parent and family newsletter from admissions, but this is not the same newsletter. Once your student starts school, that newsletter you will not get it anymore. This newsletter comes from our office, the Parent and Family Programs office, and we email all year long. So you want to go to our website and you can sign up and create a profile on that page. What else do you need to know as well? So we discourage making any flight and travel arrangements until your student receives their Bama Bound confirmation email. So it's going to be important that your student registers and you are very, very, very confident that your student has that session booked, because we want to make sure that you're making flight arrangements for the right session. We have 20 freshman sessions, so that's a lot. It can get a little confusing. If your student changes their Bama Bound session, parents are going to be automatically changed with the student. So if your student changes session, then parents are changed as well. Once a student is registered, the student will receive an immediate confirmation email, and the parent is copied on that confirmation email, which sometimes gets our parents a little confused because then they think they're already registered for parent and family orientation because you're copied on the student confirmation email. Make sure that you get a parent confirmation email as well. So parents get copied on a lot of things, and it can be a little bit confusing. We want to make sure that you know that you are registered. If you have any questions, you can always email our parents@ua.edu. If you have some more questions regarding accessibility, diet-related things, or accommodations, you can email us. There is also a place on the registration form, the parent registration form, to let us know some of those things. If you do have an interpreter, we do not provide interpreters, but your interpreter can come for free to parent orientation. An additional electronic confirmation packet will be sent in May, and then you'll also get 7-day prior to orientation. So parents are going to get 3 emails: a confirmation email, a May email, and then an email 7 days prior to their parent orientation session. So what to bring? Refill water bottle. We want to make sure you're staying hydrated, appropriate dress for shoes. A lot of what Lindsay said, but the parents will walk to the college visit 1. So that is the main time that they're going to actually be walking. So we still want you to bring some comfortable shoes. Post-orientation, we're going to make sure you're in that Crimson Connection parent newsletter platform, and then we will send you a parent orientation evaluation after orientation is all over with. Immunizations are important. So it is so vitally important that you help your student get all that squared away. It does not have to be squared away before orientation, but before the first day of class. Because if immunizations are not turned in, students will not be able to register for classes in the spring. If your student has a disability and would like to register through our Office of Disability Services, it is very easy to self-identify to ODS. Just go to the ODS website and get more information there. We also want to make sure that our students who are affiliated with any veteran and military affairs, that they are also making sure that they tell them that. So you can go to the VMA website and contact them if you would like. Parents and students can visit the Parent and Family website to view the orientation checklist. So we have this orientation checklist on our website, on the Parent and Family website. It's an orientation checklist for both parents and students. It's really great. So I encourage you to go on there and make sure that you get everything done that's for before orientation, and then get everything done that's for after orientation. So just to round us up, here is our contact information for both Lindsay's office, the new student orientation, and then my office for parent and family orientation. You're welcome to call us and email us at any time for any kind of question. We want to make sure that we help you. We can't wait to see you this summer. Thank you very much for being with us, and roll tide.
Roll Tide.